Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of Better Call Saul Season 3. This is for Season 3, Episode 5. It's called Chicanery. And spoiler warning, if you guys have not seen this episode yet of Better Call Saul, you'll definitely want to watch it before you watch my review. So, going to spoil this one. This was a really great episode. This is one that I'd say most of us have been looking forward to for quite a while. I actually thought we weren't going to see this until a finale. I thought they might save this for episode 9, which is called Fall, or one of the later episodes in the season, because it was very climactic. So in this one, we get to see the hearing before the bar about what happened in the season 2 finale with, the episode name, it was Click. Where you have Jimmy, who gets recorded on tape by Chuck, and we finally get to see the kind of conclusion of that storyline where Chuck plays that at the hearing, sort of against Jimmy, and we see the back and forth. So I'll read the description for the episode, and then we'll give our thoughts. In the past, Chuck invites Rebecca, who is his ex-wife, over for dinner, and comes up with an elaborate lie about the power to his house being cut, so he doesn't have to reveal his EHS to her. However, Rebecca answers her cell phone, causing Chuck to knock it out of her hands in a panic. He refuses to explain his actions to her and forbids Jimmy from revealing the truth. In the past, both sides gear up for Jimmy's hearing in front of the state bar, with Jimmy also meeting Caldera to acquire the services of someone with a light touch. At the hearing, things do not seem to go well for Jimmy as the tape is played before the judges. Rebecca enters the courtroom, much to Chuck's surprise. So his ex-wife again entering the courtroom. Jimmy had invited her. Though he believes it's some ploy by Jimmy to throw him off balance, later Jimmy cross-examines Chuck about the circumstances of the recording, Rebecca's presence, and his illness. Though Chuck remains calm throughout most of it, Jimmy reveals that Chuck had been carrying a fully charged cell phone battery planted by Huell, which is great to see him return for this. That was so cool to see Huell in the episode because he's in Breaking Bad a lot, and he's really funny. There's a lot of really good comedy with him and Saul in Breaking Bad, of course. For the entire hearing, contradicting the EHS symptoms Chuck claimed to have and suggesting he has a mental illness. This triggers a sudden and acidic tirade from Chuck as he vents all his frustrations about Jimmy and how he never should have tried to help him. Chuck realizes too late that his outburst has shocked the entire courtroom, including the judges. So I found it to be a very exciting episode, especially the end when Chuck kind of goes off on a tangent there and kind of loses it and starts kind of just shouting about Jimmy and about him becoming a lawyer and everything, and Chuck wanting to kind of just basically destroy his name, and kind of those inner emotions start to come to the surface. They start to just come out as Chuck just has this tirade and lets everything go. So at this point, thinking for next week's episode and that, I thought Jimmy killed it in this one. Saul, it was all good, man. He really nailed it. It seems to me like, from the judge's perspective there, as much respect as they must have had for Chuck and his career and everything, they can't help but to see what Jimmy did there at the end, and really, I would say, discredit, everything to do with Chuck and kind of get a better understanding of what's going on here. So he also kind of plays it up as if he said that just to make him feel better, and as if he feels like he's kind of sorry for everything and he doesn't want to go through this whole thing, but he's doing it because he loves his brother, and he'd do anything for him to make him feel better. So it really makes Chuck look bad in the end, I want to say, and I really think that the judges are probably going to throw the whole thing out and just be like, no big deal. I really don't think that Jimmy is going to get in a lot of trouble for this. Maybe a bit for kind of losing his cool and breaking in and that kind of stuff. But Also, it's kind of weird too that a brother would, press charges or would do whatever when something like that happens, because it is family and these things do happen. And it really, especially the tirade at the end, really screwed Chuck, I think, when he lost his cool and he just went off. I think that's it for him. I think that Jimmy did what he needed to do and won this case. So I really enjoyed the episode. I remember thinking when you see Huell bump into him, not knowing what was going to happen afterwards, just not being sure of what Jimmy had up his sleeve or how it was going to go, and it was really cool to see it actually play out in this episode. So personally, I love the episode. I'm going to give it a 9.7 out of 10. It's one of the best episodes we've had of the season so far. It's totally focused on that, so we didn't get to see anything with Mike this week, which I was a little bit disappointed about, but at the same time, this was a really important event in Better Call Saul, and this might be one of the last times we kind of see Chuck in the show. I mean, I'm not sure what they're going to do with Chuck after this, but after this is all said and done and Jimmy kind of cuts ties to Chuck, I'll be surprised to see if they kind of continue with this. It kind of seems to me like they're getting close to the end of Chuck's storyline, and pretty soon we might not be seeing much of him for the rest of the series, because his time with Jimmy after this, I would think, would be kind of over, and they would go their separate paths. And we'll also see soon, because maybe by the finale for this one, Chuck will lose it. The last couple episodes are called Slip, Fall, and Lanterns. So slip and fall, don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Chuck, as things go on. But I would think that his time in the show might be coming to an end pretty soon, and we might see kind of that final kind of falling out between them, because of course we don't see or know anything about Chuck in Breaking Bad later when we see Jimmy. It's not really, he's not a character that's in Breaking Bad really. Same with Kim. So I really love this episode. This one was quite the treat after the season 2 finale setup and everything, and it was a great episode, man. So you guys can write your comments below. Let me know what you thought about the whole trial and how we saw everything go down. I thought it was really exciting, and definitely the second half of it was super tense, not knowing what was going to happen, and then as we saw it, really cool. And great job from Jimmy at the end there to really we won it, man. He killed it. He set it up, and Chuck 100% fell for it with the tirade. So really good stuff. If you guys like this quick review, please don't forget to thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, bottom left to subscribe. I appreciate all your guys' support. And we might have another Breaking Bad Better Call Saul video for you guys this week. Going to do one probably comparing protagonists who I like better between Walter White and Jimmy McGill, since Better Call Saul is getting into finishing up its third full season, and we'll probably see a season 4. It could even have more seasons than Breaking Bad at this point. It's getting pretty close now, so it's kind of crazy to think about. So that'll be it for this one, guys. We'll see you again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.